think we good. Let's start this one. Yeah. 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 What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm joined by my co-host, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world, my brother Santana. Say something to the people.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all here with us tonight. For that, we thank you. And for that, always, we got a jam-packed show, and we're going to get right into it.
Again, we appreciate y'all tapping in. As always, this show is brought to you. The presenting sponsor of this show is Button Snaps. Make sure you go to Button Snaps where you have the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. So make sure y'all tap in. Also, we on the road to 20,000 subscribers on this channel. So again, continue to tell a friend to tell a friend, and show love to those rewatches. Continue to show love to those rewatches. Leave comments, and again, we at a little over 11,000 subs right now, so we on that road to 20,000 subs. So again, thank y'all for continuing to help grow and bless the show. Y'all already know what time it is, man. We're gonna get right into it, like my bro said. First segment of the night, popular opinions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, where the label motto is create, document, and inspire. Go to Instagram right now at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. All right, y'all. First question of the night. And remember, y'all, these are not our questions. These are the world questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. All right. Number one, when do people show fake love the most? When do people show fake love the most? Number one, relations for benefit, not love. Number two, after a person dies. Number three, a person becomes successful. Number four, holidays of events, parties.
I'd say probably the most common would be when somebody's successful or something.
When somebody's successful?
Yeah, I think that's the most common where you would see um, hate probably more so in the direction you wasn't expecting it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, Me personally, I'm not gonna go with relationships for benefits and not love. Um, After a person dies, for me, there's a lot of fake love when a person dies, but there's also a lot of real love too. You know what I mean? So, uh, I'm gonna have to agree with you. When a person becomes successful, when a person is successful, there's a whole lot of fake energy, fake love. People really want to be around you because you're successful. It becomes like a winner's loyalty. People only loyal because you're a winner, because you could get them somewhere, you could get them to another position, place, in space. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't holler at you. They wouldn't be in the same vicinity. They would not want to work in your company or anywhere that you have going on. So I'm going to agree with you and go with when people become successful. In the chat, they went with two. So they went with after people dies. At 42%, the rest of the world went with number two, after a person dies. What do you think about that?
So it's a lot of hatefulness coming out when somebody passes. That's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but if you think about it for real, right? I can see how that could be because we see it all the time where there's all this outcry and outpour when somebody dies, even as a celebrity. Now all of a sudden, this particular artist or that particular celebrity is your favorite celebrity ever, but there's no record of you saying that prior to. Even when somebody that you do know passes away, when was the last time you called them? When was the last time you spoke with them? When was the last time you really cared about what they cared about? So that also goes into the fake love category. So, looking at that in itself, so I can see how people chose uh after a person dies. So, all right, y'all, moving on to our next popular opinion question. And a quick shout out to the chat. Quick shout out to the chat. Lisa in the building, Culture in the building, Winter in the building, King in the building, some of our day ones and our badge holders. So, again, thank y'all for tapping in as always, y'all. All right, y'all, moving on to our next popular opinion question. If the NBA did a full draft today, if the NBA did a full redraft today, who how would who would go first overall? So if the NBA did a full redraft today, who would go first overall? Number one, Victor Wembanyama. Number two, Luka Doncic. Number three, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Number four, Nikola Jokic. This is a tough list. I ain't even gonna hold you. This is a tough list.
Bunch of foreigners on this list, but okay.
I know.
It's a
I know.
suspect list right here, like.
Yeah.
But all right. I guess I'll probably give me Jokic. You know what I'm saying? No apparent reason. Just give me Jokic.
Hmm. I mean, but to keep it a buck, right? These are the best players in the league as of right now. So, I mean, shout out to Tatum, shout out to Steph. You know what I'm saying? But these are the guys that are putting up crazy out of this world numbers. So yeah. Uh Again, yo, we 2 for 2 tonight, bro. We 2 for 2. I'm going with Jokic mainly because I like to take the best player available right now. If I'm gonna start a franchise, if I had to redraft and I own a franchise, I'm taking the best player in the NBA right now. Joker is the best player in the NBA right now. He's been the best player in the NBA for like the last 5 years. He won like 3 MVPs in a row. Then they gave one to Embiid. They gave it to Embiid, even though he balled out. But in the playoffs, Jokic still wilded out that same year that Joker won that MVP. Joker really it really looked like he's playing at a different level every single time, especially when matters when moments that it matter in the playoffs. And me personally, I'm gonna take Jokic over everybody because of that. Shea Gildress, that young man is serious. He be cooking. He's a double waiting to happen every play, every game, every game, and he's a baller, and he's young. So I can see how people go there. Luca, I like Luca's game, but I feel like he's a bit heavy. He's on the plus side. You know what I'm saying? But he could still ball. And Victor probably has the most upside because he's the youngest and he's 7'4" and he got guard game. So again, I'm gonna still go with Nikola Jokic. So I'm going with your answer as well. At the rest of the world, at 48% went with Joker, Nikola Jokic. What do you think about that?
No, good option. Good choice right there.
All right, moving on to our next hot topic. I'm sorry, our next popular opinion question. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Shout out to some of our first time watchers. If it's your first time watching, salute to you. Again, thank you for tapping in to the show. Best movie on this list. Best movie on this list. Number one, Ghost. Number two, Hollow Man. Number three, 50 First Dates. Number four, The Truman Show. Let us know what y'all think in the chat. Don't forget to show that love in the chat, y'all. Show that love in the chat. We want some answers in that chat.
Best movie on this list? Like, how the hell Hollow Man get on this list? Best movie? That's crazy. We talking about the 2001 Hollow Man with I think it was 2000 Hollow Man. Is that the one they talking about?
The one with
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
All right, and then we got Ghost. What else we got on there?
Truman Show.
Give me Ghost.
So you just take 50 First Dates is just out of here for you.
Not no top movie, like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? The greatest movie on this list, 50 First Dates? Nah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
good comedy, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a subcategory, maybe, but great movie? Nah,
Hmm.
not on this list. I'm gonna go with Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. I ain't gonna hold you. I think the most entertaining out of all of these is Hollow Man, maybe mainly because Kevin Bacon just know how to play a role. Like he just doing mad goonish. Once he got the juice in him, and he could be invisible. He doing now. He moving mad wild out here. Now he pulling up in his shorty crib. She, you know what I'm saying, in the bed, or you know what I mean. He roll around in the bed with her, whatever. I don't even think that was his girl. I think, to keep it real with you, I think that was the other dude's girl, and he was trying to, you know what I'm saying, see what happens. You know what I mean? On the sneak man. That's rape though. You know what I mean? But at that time, it's like the movie was interesting because of the things that he was choosing to do because he was invisible. But best movie, again, bro. Like we agreeing on this list. We normally be having two different answers on this. I'm gonna go with Ghost as well. Ghost to me is the best movie on this list. The best movie on this list is Ghost to me. Patrick Swayze killed his part. He made me feel like he was there, wanted to get back, wanted to see his chick one last time. You know, Demi Moore played it very well. Whoopi Goldberg played it very well. So, best movie, I'm also agreeing with you with Ghost on this list. In the chat, they going with the Truman Show, and yeah, they went with 4. The rest of the world, I went with Ghost. My bro went with Ghost. The rest of the world at 34%. This was very tight, by the way. Pause. Ghost. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's a classic on that list. It definitely is the best movie on that particular list right there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fire movie. I actually like Ghost. I actually like the movie Ghost. The movie Ghost is popping. All right, y'all. Time to move on to our next segment. Our next segment is Hollywood Need to Ask Us. Came up with this segment because we got better ideas. Hollywood has given us a whole bunch of trash movies, and worse than that, they not even original. So we got better ideas for movies and TV shows or series. You want to start this one off?
Yeah, I'll start off. I feel we deserve I feel we deserve a Hancock too. I feel we definitely need a more deepening in that story. I thought it was very original, even though it had a few copies of a superhero like character, but because it's Will Smith, he made Hancock seem like its own superhero. And I'm mad we never got a second movie. So we definitely need to make a second movie to Hancock. And I thought the first one was a good one. So I don't know why they didn't just go ahead and make a second one real quick just to make a money grab. And they definitely need to make a second one. I feel it was a IP they need to go back and tap into, get my man Will Smith back in these top tier roles again.
So you felt like the story was incomplete?
Hell yeah, it was incomplete. They could have went into the beginnings, how they got here, or you know what I'm saying, how they always do. You feel me? They could have
Mhm.
did an origin story. There was a whole lot they could have did. You know what I'm saying? Because they had this whole background story of the dude, how he lost his memory. They could have tapped into that. You know what I'm saying? Did
Mhm.
a whole origin story to the up into the point where he lost his memory, and then it could have did a whole lot with that. I feel they dropped the ball on that one.
Let me ask you a question. Would you want Hancock's story to be attached to DC, Marvel, Image, or its own entity?
I don't know if it's attached to any of those stuff. Me personally, I don't know. I hope it's not because I feel it's its own thing. You know what I'm saying? Keep it at that. Like it had its own gimmicks, its own jokes, and all that in that whole superhero genre. So I
Mhm.
feel they could tap into that role a lot more and create something more from it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. All right. Okay. Would you bring back Jason Bateman?
I would want to go more into the origin story of him. So probably not. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Maybe he have like a little role, like he's sitting down listening to the story or whatever, as they narrate it, something like that. But not too much of a main role because I want to more focus on them, on their storyline. Will Smith's character, his storyline, where it comes from.
Okay. Okay. Dope. 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 Anybody else you would want to be attached to this off the top of your head?
Nah, nobody in particular. Just make Hancock too happy. You know what I'm saying?
Just bring back Will, let him cook.
Let him cook, let him do what he do. Top tier acting at his finest. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. It's funny because they're bringing back Men in Black. He spoke about it on Gilly the Kid podcast, $1 million worth of game, and he was like on his way, to the podcast. They offered him the bag to do, Men in Black, and he was planning to go on tour. So, but Will got so much cachet and so much power that instead of not going on tour, which he would have normally did in the past, he like, yo, I know we're supposed to start around like, this date, but yo, push the movie back a couple more months and then I do it. I got to go on tour first. So, I think that's kind of ill, the fact that he could dictate time because of his talent and his cachet. So that's dope.
Right.
Hancock, add that to the list. Add it to the list. All right, y'all. For me personally, my Hollywood need to ask us. I want to see an origin story on how. Matter of fact, I'm not sure if you spoke on this. Did you speak on the NCAA?
Just more so on like want to see like series on like the top NBA players when they were in the NCAA tournament, what schools they was in, and brought them all the way to the if they went to the you know what
Okay.
I mean Final Four and all that.
Okay. So I want to see a movie about who is the NCAA, who is consists of this ghost-like committee for the past 70 years that's been terrorizing college sports, both football and basketball. Who are these people? And how do they get the NCAA job? It's like an unwritten rule that nobody talks about. Where do you go to become an NCAA official? How do you qualify to be an NCAA official? So I want to see a movie based on those parameters and them being dove into a real situation or a simulated situation based on the movie sense aspect where we the NCAA. I'm a regular guy, but we got this high profile athlete. He wants to do, the Mets Flex, get an NIL deal from Mets Flex, and but he can't sign footballs and all this other stuff and dictate rules. So I want to see a movie. What would be the making of who is the NCAA? That's what I want to see.
Nah, facts. Because there ain't no school or colleges. I ain't never heard somebody say, you know what, I don't like how NCAA is. I'm gonna go to school and learn about NCAA, and I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna change the rules. I ain't never heard nobody ever say nothing close to that. I ain't never heard nobody go to school for NCAA. I
Hmm.
ain't never heard nobody get drafted, where their headquarters is at. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, who are they? You know what I'm saying? When do they get together and meet? What committee, you know what I'm saying? Nothing.
You're
We don't know
right.
nothing. All these rules we got, but we don't never see none of these people and stuff. So it's just interesting to me how that works. And these are the same people at one point in time that melanin people couldn't play basketball or you couldn't play football. You know what I'm saying? These are same this the same committee. These are the same ones that say, you could play football, but you can't be the quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You could play, but you can't dunk the ball. Like,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? You could play, but you can't do crossovers. You gotta you gotta do it just like this. Like, it was all
Right.
a bunch of these tic tac rules. Once we got in there, and they just put all these rules into place to like always circumvent and never allow the true athlete to really play. Like, a lot of the stuff was like real racist. Because how you gonna say, you can play football, but you only relegated to running back?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
get out of here. And when
Right.
he want to play quarterback, why can't he play quarterback? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that'd be dope. I want to see who these people were. You know what I'm saying?
When it came to basketball, they only let two play per team. When I say they, I mean us. They only let two of us play on per team when it came to D1 teams. So if you a team like Kansas and all the major blue bloods, you only got two brothers on your team at a time. For
Yeah, I'm
all
talking
the
about top Duke, all of them. You know what
right,
I'm saying? In the
right,
early days, you only had one brother in there.
right. That's
You,
why you hear all the, yeah, I know I hate saying the word black because that's not what we are. Um, but that's why you hear a lot of historic black quote unquote the so-called black colleges used to go to the Final Four because instead of Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett going to Michigan or Duke or something like that, they going right there to
Savannah State. You know what I'm saying? They
right,
going
right, Morehouse,
mid Tennessee State. You know what I'm
right,
saying? They going,
right,
you know what I'm saying? They going to FAMU type. You know what I'm saying? That's where
yo,
they going. And they made these schools litty until they was like, oh nah, we gotta stop this. Not
right,
like we gotta let them in, but we gonna let them in slowly. We gotta let them in this way. We gotta let them in that way. Like, I
right,
mean, we all fell for we tricked ourselves out of our own position yet again. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna
mm-hmm,
all the HBCUs could have been top tier schools had all the top tier players just went to them schools.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we would have just at the championship game, it would have been them niggas against us
Right, and
at
that's
the
what
championship game.
and that's what happened before too. That's where I remember it was Southern Texas, Texas Southern, and they got mainly brothers on their team. And when they got to the championships, they said, "Yo, the only way we're gonna make a statement is if we only play the brothers on the team." Mind you, they had like a couple of the Caucasian brothers on the team. You know what I'm saying? But they was like, "Yo, our rotation gonna be
In solidarity, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna hold it down.
we're gonna take down Kentucky." Their star player at the time was Pat Riley. You know what I'm saying? Like, look how crazy that is. Pat Riley, yes, the same Pat Riley, y'all, the GM for the Miami Heat. He played and lost to the first all so-called black college team that
And
they
I'm even far to say that mindset ain't, you know what I'm saying? I don't really think that shit really changed for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you ain't really hear none of these people speak up like, oh, we didn't want to do it or we was against it, but our coach, and you ain't never hear none of them stories. So it's like, in my mind, you still think the same. It's just
right.
like the times is different. You can't be outright and say, you just gonna dress it differently. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure like ex players probably may or may not have issues with some of these other coaches that been in those when they were players in that era. You know what I'm saying? That
Mm-hmm.
mindset probably still continued on. I'm probably sure there was issues with NBA players when they went on to be coaches, they probably had issues with that type of mindset further on into the 80s and 90s because you could see how the game finally started changing and elevating. Because
Right.
a lot of the stuff we used to do naturally, they called it street or it wasn't organized
Right.
basketball, but now they doing it like nothing now.
Right.
Remember, you had to do 3 passes before you could, you know what I'm saying? Remember
Yeah.
them goofy rules? You could only do 3 passes. You couldn't do crossover. You couldn't shake the person. You couldn't do none of that. That was like,
Yeah.
oh, that was considered street. Oh,
Yeah.
that's only in the street. When we play indoors, it's organized ball. You have to bounce it like this, and you have to wear your shorts here, and you can't dunk the ball, and you have to shoot like all these goofy rules. So when Texas Southern came and played, it was like, nah, we ain't going about that. You better guard us, and we're gonna do what we do. So they started getting cookies. There was a
Yeah.
movie about that too. Son.
Yeah, it's a fire movie. It's called Glory Road. If y'all haven't seen it, make sure y'all tap into it. But like I said, it continued to manifest itself. Like, it kills me when I hear like my younger brothers and my younger cousins here, like, oh yeah, in the 90s they didn't boogie like that. In the 80s they didn't boogie like that. I was born in the 80s, so I can't tell you about the 80s per se, but I could look at old tapes. But definitely in the 90s, dudes used to boogie, 2000s, dudes used to boogie. But like you said, it was considered showboating. Skip to My Lou had one of the best handles, if not the best handle I've ever seen in my life. Yes, even including Kyrie Irving. But Skip to My Lou played different when he was playing uh, tournament ball and NBA ball. In the NBA, you never seen him come down the court, well, you know what I'm saying? Do his get shaky, like how he would do in the park, because he made a concerted effort not even to do that because he wanted the NBA to take him serious. If he would have came in doing his skip to Malou, thing, then he felt like the NBA wouldn't have looked at him as a serious ball player instead of just a street guy that's he's here for the tricks.
But look at the time we in now. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
were so pressed about not doing it back then, but they allow it now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yes.
it's just weird.
Yes.
So it made certain players they couldn't really play the way they naturally play because of how the NBA was so constraint on their natural abilities. Like, oh, you can't dribble the ball like this. You have to do it like that. Like, bro, chill out, son. The name of the game is get the ball in the hoop. Pause. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm following the rules that you set by, why is it the style that I do it a problem for you?
Right. The only reason why the dribble became acceptable, because the dribble, when a guy like Stephon Marbury, Allen Iverson now came into the league, it becomes marketable because now those group of kids, which was me and you, was following the game more so than ever. We want to see our favorite young players do the crossover. It brings in that viewership. So now that became the new marketable, opposed to a guy like Isaiah Thomas, guys like Chris Jackson, aka Abdul Rauf, Tim Hardaway, that had the crazy crossover, shake and bake. It was quick and it was so effective. But they had to do it in spurts. They couldn't just you know what I'm saying? Guys like Nick Van Exel, Iverson, Stephon Marbury, Steve Francis. Now the crossover, the moves become marketable. Now it's cool. Now they could rock tattoos. Now they could pull up to the game in a long, wife beater, and so on and so forth. So all these rules that went into the NBA, also into college basketball, which is the NCAA. This stuff is all made up, so we never seen who make the rules. When they drop decisions, they say the NCAA. They never say Rick Buford from the NCAA. It's never individual based. It's always entity based. So, I would love to see that, an actual movie of who, how they become, and where do they find these people? What's the qualification to be NCAA? All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, one of y'all most favorite segments of the show. For some of y'all first time watchers, this is our must see segment. Must see movie, must hear music, must watch TV show, whether it's must see or documentary or stand up. You want to start this one off?
Nah, you can start it off.
All right, y'all. So my three must see movies tonight is fire. It's Sunday, and I got some good ones for y'all. Number one, came out in 1995, directed by William Friedkin. This stars David Caruso, Linda Fiorentino, Chaz Palminteri, Angie Everhart, Sandy Berman, and Buddy Joe Hooker. That's a wild name. This movie is called Jade. Fire movie. Bro, you ever seen Jade?
Let me see in a minute.
It's a fire movie, y'all. Make sure y'all tap into this. This movie's about uh, a police officer or a law enforcement officer that's looking for the next big case. He's up for re-election as well. He's making political moves, and he gets put onto a case where a man gets found dismembered, and for some reason he has locks of hair. You know how guys, we collect, our little trophies here and there, his particular trophies was hair. He kept a certain type of hair, y'all. I can't say what type of hair, but he kept a certain type of hair. And you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all. So make sure you tap in to see Jade. Second must-see movie came out in 1986. I know all of them 80s movies, directed by Harley Copeless. That sounds real Hollywood name right there. Stars Tommy Lee Jones, Linda Hamilton. Yeah, I know it's playing Sarah Connor. Robert Vaughn, Richard Jackal, uh, Nick Carvetts, and Lee Ving, and Bubba Smith. This movie is called Black Moon Rising. Fire movie. This movie's about um, a really good thief he was also hired. He's so good he was hired by the government to go steal their tax documents so that way they could try to shut this particular business down. He ends up going into the building, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. It is fire. Again, make sure y'all tap into Black Moon Rising. And my third final must-see movie, very pivotal, came out in 2001, directed by Larry Clark. This movie stars Brad Renfro, Nick Stahl, Baja Phillips, Rochelle Minor, and Michael Pitt. This movie is called Bully. This movie is so pivotal. That's one thing I miss about old school movies because it always carries some sort of logic, rhyme, reason. Who was good, who was bad. It made you tap into your better interest, your thought process on your morality. This movie's about a bully, uh, a friend, two friends, and one was bullying the other. Their main thing to do was go find girls. They love girls, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. That I paused when I said that, so you have to watch the rest of the movie. So make sure you tap into the movie Bully, Black Moon Rising, and Jade. Bro, you ever seen Black Moon Rising or Bully?
Nah.
Yeah, these are must sees, y'all. Make sure you tap in to see these, man. Oh, before you go, quick shout out to Rowan Jack. He just gifted 5 memberships. Rowan Jack, thank you for tapping in. As always, supporting the show. We appreciate it. As always, he just gifted and those gifted need some thank yous, y'all. Send that man some thank yous. He just gifted 5 of y'all with some memberships. Uh oh, my bro Leaf in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, man. So yeah, so anybody that got gifted by Rowan Jack, make sure you thank him for that gift. All right, y'all. Go ahead, bro. Your go.
All right, y'all. Y'all know how I do, chat. I always have a theme for my movies. This week is same as last week. So my theme is Matrix themed movies. So each one of these movies is a dystopian type of setting, and you gotta watch the movie to see what type of dystopian setting it is. So the first movie on the list is V for Vendetta. Came out in 2005. Stars Hugo Weaving, Natalie Portman, Stefan Fear, John Hort, Stefan Rea, Rupert Graves, Tim Pigott Smith, Roger Allen, Ben Miles, Antaje Rouge, Chaz Stellarlich, and Natasha Whitnine. It's about again about a dystopian future where this certain character is fighting against the government, and you gotta watch the rest of the movie to see how that goes about. Fire movie right there. Next one on the list is Equilibrium. Came out 2002. Stars Christian Bale, Emily Watson, Sean Bean, Tay Diggs, Angus McFadden, William Fletcher, Brian W. Cook, Emily Stewart, Andrew Rena, and Dominique Purcell. But again, another dystopian future where, excuse me, where there's no emotion at all, and the main character is set on destroying this fascist cell, and you gotta watch the rest of the movie to find out what happens. Last on my list is the movie Oblivion. Came out 2013. Stars Tom Cruise, Olga Kurilenko, Andrew Heisborough, Morgan Freeman, Nicola Coster Waldo, Zoe Bell, Melissa Leo, Catherine Kim Poon, Jeremy Sande, Jason Stanley, and Lisa Rizno. About a dystopian future where majority of the population has moved off world, and this cleanup crew is tasked on making sure all the last remaining humans leave the world, and you gotta watch the rest of the movie to watch what happens. So my Matrix theme movies were V for excuse me, V for Vendetta, Equilibrium, and Oblivion.
Fight, fight. Make sure y'all tap into those movies, man. These are good times right here, and you gonna thank us later. We scarred a few of y'all, but you gonna thank us later. Trust me, you gonna thank us later. Shout out to Dope Boy in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. One of our other badge holders, man. Again, get your badges, get your badges. Different access, different memberships allows you different access. So again, tap into your memberships. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next must see no, must hear. We're doing must hear. Actually, with these movies, nobody's ever heard of. That's my special. My brother gives the theme about the movies. I give y'all movies. I pride myself on giving y'all movies y'all never heard about before. You know, that's my thing. All right, y'all. Must hear, must hear, must hear. Put these three songs on your playlist from this artist. The SOS band. I know it's an old school band, but tap into those vibrations. They got music y'all need to hear and put on your playlist. First song you must put on your playlist. No one's gonna love you. Again, you're gonna hit when y'all hear these songs. Y'all heard these songs before because everybody and their mother wants to sing songs. These are fire songs. Again, that's the SOS band. First song on the playlist. You gotta put on there. No one's gonna love you. Number two, just be just be good to me. Number three, tell me if you still care. Again, put these three songs on your playlist. Again, number one, no one's gonna love you. Number two, just be good to me. Number three, tell me if you still care. I guarantee you, y'all gonna be partying all night long. Fire songs, put those on your playlist by the SOS band. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next classic show or must see show, documentary or stand up. You want to start this one off?
Now you can start it off.
All right, so my must. This is more so of a must see because this is a documentary. Came out in 2004. This is called Atlantic City Hookers, presented by HBO. Fire documentary. I remember HBO used to really tap into these documentaries on life on the street as, prostitutes and hookers and things of that nature. And it was very interesting. Obviously, it's entertaining because of the matter, or the fact of the matter. But the storyline is very interesting on the type of backgrounds which led these women to the work that they ended up doing and how they had to maneuver in the streets and keep themselves safe, whether it's physically or whether it's from an STD. So it's a great watch, and they used to have them on all the time. You can find it on Button Snaps right now, so make sure y'all go on Button Snaps to check it out. Again, it's called Atlantic City Hookers. So make sure y'all tap into that documentary.
Dope, dope, dope. For my must see classics, y'all definitely gotta tap into the culture with this one. Y'all gotta go back and tap into the old URL rap battles from the beginnings of the URL rap league. And I'm specifically talking about the rap battles with the trifectas, which is Murder Move versus Party Artie. Gotta tap into that one. Gotta tap into Murder Move versus Loaded Lux. You know what I'm saying? And then the most classic battle I feel to this day, the most classic of all battles is Murder Move versus damn, what was his name?
J Mills.
Jay Mills. There we go. So those three top battles on top of all the other battles there are the pivotal moments of URL battle. And for you to be to watch some dope, tap into those. You could definitely watch it on YouTube. So tap into Murder Move versus Jay Mills, Murder Move versus Party Artie, and Murder Move versus Loaded Lux. You will definitely see a different vibe with each of these battles, and you'll start to see like the how this movement became so big.
So classic battles. Just your opinion. Who do you think won each of those battles? Because the common denominator is Murder Move. Fire, top tier lyricist, can't be denied. Who do you think won those battles though?
I'm giving it to all the Murder Move.
You give it all to Murder Move?
Murder Move definitely for Party Artie, definitely for Loaded Lux, and for me personally, definitely for Jay Mills.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Hey
Which
man.
I gotta go watch it and see if I'm bugging or not. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think I am. But y'all go tap in chat and see if y'all think Murder Mook was. I feel he was the pivotal of the battles because that's who I tuned in to watch anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's what the beautiful part of this art form, because I thought he lost all three. I thought he lost against Party Yardy. I thought he lost against Loaded Lux, and I felt like Jay Mills. It was nasty. That first three rounds, what Jay Mills was saying, it was just straight. it was crazy. It was gladiator sport out there. It's something to see, y'all. So it's interesting. My bro has one opinion, I have another. So make sure y'all tap in to see the battle. It's a great conversation, and the fact that these brothers is giving people what 24s. I think they was doing 24s at a time, five rounds of 24s. That's crazy work. It may have been a 32, but it's more likely a 24 bars. So make sure y'all tap in. It's a great watches. Great watches. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next. Oh, you got cologne for us?
Definitely got cologne for y'all. Y'all look good. Y'all feel good. Y'all smell good. Y'all do good. So this one is Grooming Lounge, and the fragrance is called You're So Money. So tap into Grooming Lounge. The fragrance is called You're So Money.
You're so money. Get again, y'all. The goal is smell good. Hit the girl, so that way you could do your boogie yoogie. All right. Moving on. Y'all already know what time it is, y'all. It's time to wrap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, again, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. Again, button hyphenated sign snaps.com. So make sure y'all tap in. All right, y'all. First hot topic of the night. Shout out to some of our first time watchers. We appreciate y'all tapping in again. Continue to show love in the chat. Hit them likes, hit them likes, hit them 100s, hit them loves in the chat, y'all. So again, we appreciate it. That's how it helps the show grow. All right, y'all. First hot topic of the night. Pop the Balloon dating series lands a Netflix deal with host Arlette Amula as the executive producer after amassing over 100 million views on YouTube alone. Also, Insecure actress Yvonne Orji is set to be the new host. What do you think about that? All of that right there. That's a lot. Just said a whole lot.
I mean, that's what happens when your intellectual property goes to the next level. And you want to get a bigger bag. I mean, the people with the bigger bag gonna want more say so in the production, and more say so on how they want to take the production to new heights. So they're gonna put you in the back burner. They're gonna bring somebody else in, and now it's gonna be a totally different show. I mean, shout out to them for creating such a such a viral show, and you know what I'm saying, and then getting bigger recognition for your show to get on Netflix. I just hope y'all paperwork was straight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're gonna finesse you out your position. I just hope your paperwork was straight. That's all.
Yeah, I think they cleaned it up nicely. Again, we don't know her paperwork, but they cleaned it up nicely by making her the executive producer and not the host. If they kept her as the host and not as the EP or something that supposed to hold uh, a position of power where she's going to be making continual residual off her intellectual property, off her idea, then it'll be like the Jamie Foxx situation, which is crazy because Jamie Foxx was the executive producer of the Jamie Foxx show, and Bentley Evans Kyle, the producer of that show, came out and said both him and Jamie Foxx don't receive executive producing or the royalties for that show, but you're the EP, which is crazy. So I pray for the sister that her paperwork is in order. Uh, do so. Let me add this to you. Add this to it as well. Do you feel this show is needed on Netflix?
No, it definitely is not needed on Netflix. But again, you know what I'm saying? You selling your work to a bigger corporation. So as long as your paperwork is right, your position is right, you shouldn't have no problems. But again, I doubt it is. You know what I'm saying? Because you was hosting it on YouTube. Like, what paperwork did you really put together to like uh secure and protect your intellectual property other than maybe a trademark or copyright? um Maybe trademark the, you know what I'm saying, the title of it, you know what I'm saying, so now it's yours or something. Because it's like without that, anybody could come in and buy it and just sit back and collect the bread. That's what happens in business. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't collect, if you create something and you don't have anything to protect it, anybody else can come in and cheat you out your own spot and be like, yeah, we're going to give you an executive producer title. Yeah, they could give you that title, but I don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? In the initial paperwork, do you have creative control? Do you have intellectual property? I don't know what the actual title is for entertainment law. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure they have that certain word. And if it's not in there in that contract, then you don't got it. You know what I'm saying?
If it's not perpetuity, y'all, learn that word. Perpetuity means forever. If you have a contract and the perpetuity is against you and not for you, then you don't make money forever. The entity does. You make the money for the term. Simple and plain. So that's just a little golden nugget for y'all. But more so is this, like, I feel like when I watch the show, it does a lot of damage to the dating scene. I mean, the dating scene is terrible, but it doesn't bring us closer together. It makes us more superficial watching the show. I mean, most times I'm watching the show, I'm seeing brothers go on there, whether they deserve it or not. As soon as they walk up, mind you, it's like 12 women on the show, balloons, all balloons. Once two pop, another two more just gonna pop just because they don't, you know what I'm saying? They just doing it just cause they don't even know why they doing it. Then another balloon may pop because the dude could have a nice fit and he's tall, but she don't like his shoes. Or, for a multitude of reasons. And then when he starts talking, then another pop balloon. I mean, you figure these things out, but do it really help the market of dating? Is it for dating or is it just for entertainment? So it makes me wonder, is the show needed for a Netflix platform? It was the show needed to continue to go on YouTube? Was the show just needed? It's entertaining, but the whole setup is very toxic because instead of focusing on the people that didn't pop their balloons, they focus on the people and why they popped their balloons because that's going to stir up some controversy. If somebody popped their balloon and be like, yeah, I didn't like his shoes, and then he looks at her like, yeah, is this somebody you would normally date? Like, yeah, nah, I don't like her fake hair. Another pop balloon because he said that. So it's built off of toxic energy and it's not built off the truth. How can you really find a partner that way? So I look at it like that as well too. What do you think about what I just said?
I mean, they the ones that created the show to be like that. You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at Netflix for wanting to capitalize on something that somebody of melanin descent created. You know what I'm saying? Not all kinfolk is not all skin folk is kinfolk. You know what I'm saying? Just because you look like it, you ain't gonna be for us. Because obviously none of those shows, none of those episodes ever put nobody in no good light. Nobody ever came there with their best foot forward to actually really look for love. Everybody always had their own initiative. And the host of the show didn't even put a stamp or a position as to like, hey, we're all going to be respectful. We're going to respect each other. This, that, and the third. Create some type of precedent. Nah, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like I can't be mad at Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Y'all created this show the way it was, and y'all didn't see nothing wrong with it. Everybody went up there as able-bodied adults and made mockeries of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And then now it's going to be in an even bigger platform. So now when later on when we get these dismissive energies from people, you'll know why. Because they constantly put us in position. Well, we put ourselves in positions half the time to be disrespected, to be looked down upon. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be mad at them for wanting to get on the joke. If we the ones that putting the joke on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's like none of that. It was definitely not needed, but it was for views. It was for them to get their name out there. Did they give anybody relationship actual goals? Did somebody actually have a relationship from there? Like when Kevin Samuels' platform was there, people actually got married. And it was actually results from that from his platform.
That's stories.
There's no results from this. It's just clickbait. You know what I'm saying? So now Netflix saw it like, hey, if they don't give a fuck about their own image, why should we? We're gonna just give them a bag, give them a position, like, yeah, you're an executive producer, like, and give them a little change, and then we're gonna run with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I just feel like shows like this, and they have another show where it's like based for like rappers and actors. They'll go on the show, or what they call a love and hip hop type of celebrity type, and they'll go on the swipe left, swipe right. It's like none of this is in real attention to really find somebody. It's just all, like you said, clickbait, or just for the views, just because it's interesting, because they love to see us argue, they love to see us at each other. So the bigger question is that, being that we're adults and we know that is entertainment, but the entertainment is a depiction on our real life, on how we respect each other. Because if you walk into the room and you don't know me and you get at me, then that's not respect. And you're building a show based on that. So you basically teaching people how to interact with each other. Same thing with Maury, right? With Maury, you taught people how to deal with a woman or dude that you really don't want to be with. You taking a Maury, if y'all got a questionable baby situation, is he the daddy or you's not the daddy? So all.
Damn, Maury, let's get even deeper. Let's talk about the Zeus Network. The Zeus Network started by melanated people, right? But look at the results of what they produce.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So how can anybody on the outside looking in and don't know nothing about melanated culture, don't know nothing about anything that we do, they see it from the programs that's being produced that y'all willingly go on.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about, yeah, I worked hard to produce this. I'm the executive producer of this show. Oh, what's the name of the show? Jocelyn's Cabaret. Oh, okay. What's it about? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, y'all go out y'all way to create these shows, and then in the same breath be like, oh, well, we're not getting picked and we're not getting our fair share of wages and this, that, and the third. I don't want to hear none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear none of that. That sounds like some hypocritical shit to me. You gonna complain about getting checks from a system that don't even care about you and use you against yourself. Like, come on. Which one is it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because all of y'all couldn't have went to Juilliard. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. It was
So
it was one girl that was on the Zeus Network that was talking big, heavy. I think she's a rapper. I don't know, but she does something, and she was talking big, heavy. She on there like, yeah, I knock chicks out, da 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 da. And I think the girl was Krishan Rock's sister or something like that, and she pieced her up real nice, where she looked like a Hollywood pumpkin after that, missing teeth, the whole nine.
but
And she's
see,
like, I
the
know be tough no more. She came
but
out
see, look, who put the money behind all of that? It was
Zeus
this
Network.
dude, King Bach, his mans, and this other chick who came together and created Zeus Network with Lamelio, I forget his name, but his family was creating like mad televangelist programs. So his background comes from media. So they all came together to create the Zeus Network. 4 melanated individuals, 1 white woman, came together to create the Zeus Network, and this is what they produce. If you look at all King Bach's old skits, a lot of it was funny, but if you look at the real content, it was real buffoonery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all
Yeah.
of this, like, that's how you gonna get a bag. That's how you gonna get ahead in this industry. Damn, making your own lane. You know what I'm saying? And if you are making your lane, you gonna make it based upon making fun of our own yourself. You know what I'm saying? Making fun of the tropes that they created. So it's just weird to me.
So it's a situation that, with this in particular, when you have, again, these balloon challenges, the swipe left challenges, it's great when you can get people together with intention. But if, again, when it's clickbait, when it's just so people could use it as some sort of promotional tool to do the other thing, then why do you think there's nobody at the singles, night at the club anymore? It'd be like 80 women and like 3 dudes in there. Why do you think, when in real life, when you actually meet somebody, is not what is depicted, what we see on social media? There's no real red balloon challenge in the real life, in the reality. So it is not realistic, and you putting unrealistic goals in people's head on how to choose and how to pick, and they're not picking based on things that would actually help the results of actually having someone. So, but yeah, all right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Singer Sean Kingston and his mother Janice Turner have been found guilty on all charges in their Fort Lauderdale federal wire fraud trial. What do you think about that?
I mean, when you do fraud and you lie on people, you don't pay your bills, you say you're gonna do this, and then you take people's stuff and don't pay it back. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get caught eventually. Like, so I mean,
Hmm.
that fraud, they're not playing with fraud. So
Yeah, yeah,
they're not playing with that. And then on top of that, you this supposed top tier artist, and you was using that as a ploy to get deals signed and never put the money up. And oh yeah, I'm gonna come back with the money later. Then you fly off with a jet and not pay for the jet. It's like, come on, son. Like,
yeah.
it's just all sloppy work. It just looks all bad.
Hmm. It's really unfortunate because it's like I guarantee you they're saying to themselves, we didn't have to do none of this. We was cool on being able to do, to get by how we was getting by. This was not needed. Or this was too much access and not want to come up off your access or changing your lifestyle just a little bit just to stay comfortable and so you won't make pick or take penitentiary chances. This is fool's gold. When I look at this whole case, this is fool's gold. Like these charges, they didn't have to do none of this. They chose to do this. Both mom and Sean Kingston. So I mean, this right here is completely on them. Like in Florida in itself, Florida do not play when it comes to fraud. It does not play. That's probably the second biggest thing in Florida that they really I would say put like their law enforcement towards in Florida. It's probably the second biggest thing in Florida, hands down, is fraud. So when it comes to that and they feel like they got you and they catch you, it's a wrap. They're gonna make an example and they're gonna make sure and deter anyone else for wanting to do fraud. So it's unfortunate, but I mean this is a situation brought on itself due to the lifestyle, due to trying to keep up with the Joneses, due to trying to do this and just keep the name up, and it wasn't necessarily what needed. So I mean, I hate to see people be put in jail, but at the end of the day, I mean, nobody told you to do that. So, like you said, very sloppy, but at the same time, it's like both mom and son. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Marvin Sapp has been hired as the head of the IRS. What do you think about that?
Who?
Marvin Sapp, the pastor, Marvin Sapp that kept all the people at the church
He's been hired a what?
as the head of the IRS,
What IRS?
the IRS department.
The IRS, the Internal Revenue Service.
Nah, I was just
Oh,
playing.
I was about to say, hold up, cause ain't no way, bro, gonna lock me down. Talk about where's my money, man. Your money on the way. You know what I'm saying? Somebody on the way with your money. Get me out of
Yo,
here. You know what I'm saying? I
yo,
mailed your money yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be there in a couple of days.
lock their cribs up, yo. Don't let them come out the crib until they pay y'all money on. That's how y'all do that IRS. You know what I'm saying? Word.
Yo, they started hiring him. Yo, I bet you they're gonna know all types of IRS workers who they're gonna put out. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be crazy work on niggas.
Yo, I kid you not. Like, if you really want money results now, don't show a picture of 50 Cent. Don't show a picture of the IRS. Show a picture of Marvin Sapp. You know what I'm saying? That's when you know somebody know you mean business. Like somebody owe you a couple $100, $1,000. Send them a picture of Marvin Sapp. Like, yo, he not playing, yo. So let me make sure, yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, G, chill. You know what I'm saying? Chill. Don't do me like that. So I just had to throw that in there real quick, y'all. They said I got them in the chat. No, but our next I'm sorry, our next hot topic is Coach Prime Deion Sanders has received a contract extension with Colorado University for 5 years, 54 million, which brings it to 10.8 per year, and also making him the fourth highest paid college coach in football right now. What do you think about that?
They gotta do whatever they can to keep him from going to the NFL. So if they gotta pay him more money, they're gonna have to do that because the NFL got big checks.
Big checks. You know what I'm saying?
And once they hit a number that he can't say no to, then it's like, all right, Colorado, I'm up out of here. You know what I'm saying? You know how I go.
Hmm.
I left the whole team for y'all. Don't even trip. Just follow my blueprint. Y'all be straight. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go
Hmm.
to the NFL and go handle these other checks up here. But they had to do that because you don't put in the work and the type of kids that's coming into the program and the coaching staff he has. So it's well deserved to for him and his family. So that's what's up.
That program is night and day before he got there. I
Oh,
mean,
they know that.
we're not talking about Colorado Golden Era. We're talking about the past 20 years before he got there. It was terrible. It was god awful. It was the worst college football team before he got there overall. And I'm not just talking about as far as wins and losses. I'm talking about as a program, year in, year out, the caliber players that they brought in and the type of wins and losses that they took. It was bad. So it's night and day. Now Colorado is a destination for most top tier football players right now. That is crazy. Just think about that. You got Coach Prime Deion Sanders as your coach. If you play corner, you getting tips from Deion Sanders. You play running back, you getting that work from Marshall Faulk. You play quarterback, you getting work from the offensive coordinator or pass quarterback. Oh my God, I can't believe his name is a brain freeze to me. But he was also the OC from Tampa Bay. They got him, him. He was a great college quarterback as well. You got Warren Sapp if you play defensive lineman. If you play receiver at any given day on time at practice, you will see T.O., Chad Ochocinco, Michael Irvin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention they just brought in the another great defensive lineman from the NFL to be the defensive line coach along with Warren Sapp. So it's like it's a place that you would really want to be. Of course, they're going to be fresh with that Nike on. They're going to get the best uniform. So it's like it's night and day. Upward near $11 million. A lot of NFL coaches is not even making damn near $11 million a year. So 5 years, he's going to be there for a while. The buyout is crazy. Somebody going if they really want this man, they will have to buy. The buyout is wild. So he's going to be with Colorado. He's going to be there 5 years, $54 million. The only coaches that are paid more than him, and the only reason why I think he didn't get the highest paid is because he didn't win the national championship. Guys that are getting paid more money than him as of this moment, Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, and Ryan Day just got a new deal because they won the national championship at Ohio, and then Dabo Sweeney. Those are the only other coaches that is basically getting paid more than Deion Sanders, and that's mainly because they got national champions next to their on their resume. So I think this was a great deal. Obviously, he could still keep the proceeds off his merchandise, which takes his money to a whole nother level. And of course, he has a deal with Nike in itself. So, man, shout out to Coach Prime changing that culture around Colorado around. So, shout out to Coach Prime. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. A 13-year-old boy opens a hot dog stand in Minnesota, causing the neighbors to file complaint against him. Instead of shutting him down, the inspectors came and helped him bring his stand up to code, and they paid the $87 for his permit. What do you think about that?
I mean, letting them know how to properly conduct business in the city. So you know what I mean? Now he has that proper knowledge. So when he sells that hot dog stand and gets a whole new joint, he knows how to do the setup correctly and do it properly. Like that's knowledge that parents should have probably put him onto or something or looked it up know what I'm saying? You just can't just put up a hot dog stand like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you think? This the 80s? Like, oh, we can
Like,
just put a lemonade stand, it's 5 cents. Like, nah, man, that's only in the movies. I mean,
like we
you got
we
file paperwork with the city. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let the city know what you're doing, and so they could get their taste. Like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that's good that they came in there and showed them the proper way of doing this. So now them haters on the block, now they got, you know what I'm saying? Now they can't hate now.
it's funny because it's like you said, it's like, yo, we out here. You know what I'm saying? Just you you can't just pull up with the mystery meat thinking it's gonna be sweet. You gotta have permits. You gotta be able to, situate yourself. But I'm glad that the people that went brought him up to code. They didn't go there shattering his dreams. They're like, this is what you got to do, and we're gonna help you with this, and we're gonna pay you a little $87. You know what I'm saying? What's $87 to a 13-year-old? Like for like you don't hear that type of good nature type of bot from most industries, especially with people with permits or the people that you got to go through with inspectors and things of that nature. So to hear that they went the extra mile. So this young man at 13 years old could learn what it's like to really run a business is a knowledge and an education that he's going to receive better than the general education that the board of ed has been giving him all these years. By the time he's in his early 20s, he's going to understand what it takes to run a business. So how successful do you think this young man would be in his mid 20s to early 30s?
As long as you know you gotta file a business license, get your DBA, get your EIN, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna teach you that in business school. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're supposed to already know. So
Hmm.
how he has that knowledge, you can move forward with a great foundation.
That is a fact. And Rowan Jack said it in the chat. I love that. Real public servants. I love that because again, you have people that's for the company or for the community. Your job, your position, your career is always going to be of that. Why do we not have people that are in these spaces helping them also negating, just relegating? Yeah, we just gonna shut y'all down. Why y'all can't give me information so that way I could be in business? What do I need to do to be in business? What do I need to do to come up to code? So the fact that they did it for this young man, hats off to them. And we need more people in the community that has information, that has the knowledge on make being able to elevate people just by giving them information. You're not asking them to do the work for you. Just you're asking for the information. So shout out to those inspectors. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Miami University star receiver is rumored to have what's his name? I got everything but his name, so I got to type it in real quick, y'all. Sorry about that. Okay, so the University of Miami receiver Xavier Restrepo, rumored he clocked at a 4.840 at his pro day, has yet to be confirmed that he did, but there was nothing coming out combating that he didn't run the 4.8 because most times when you have a bad 40 or there's rumored for you to have a bad 40 and you didn't run that bad, the player or his team will come out and say, "Yo, it wasn't a 4.8, it was a 4.6 or 4.7 something." So how will this affect his draft status?
I mean, 4.8. I mean, in game speed, I don't think that's not no 4.8 in game speed in
No,
the
no,
actual
this is
game
the 40.
itself.
No, this is the 40.
No, I'm saying in the game when he's actually running, I don't see him being slow. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if they saying that's a 4.8 that he ran, like it doesn't translate on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd be outrunning other opponents. So it's kind of weird. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Will it affect his draft status? A little bit, but there's so much actual live tape of him, you know what I mean, in the field. So I don't think it'll affect it that much.
And he's a little guy too. He's well, I won't say a little guy. Pause. Um, well, he's not. He's not a ant or something like that. He's 5'10", 198. That's sizable. Pause. About my height, my size. Pause. But he has 69 receptions, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, and his longest receiving touchdown this past year was 77 yards. So on tape, it looks like he's moving a little bit, but that bad 40, if he ran a 4.8 and you got defensive linemen that's running 4.4s, linebackers running 4.4s, safeties, corners running 4.4s, 4.3s, as a receiver, and particularly at slot, which he will play, he's not going to play on the outside. Um, you know, you still don't feel like it may hurt his draft stock that much.
No, I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, it's like we've seen players like this before and still perform in game. So in game speed is totally different. And if he does get drafted, they're gonna do the 40 time again. So I
Mhm,
feel in game speed is it's totally different. And I mean, he's a skilled player. You don't want to lose a skilled player.
mhm. I think this does hurt his draft stock because if he was a guy if he ran a 4.4, like let's be real, he would be considered a second round pick. But because he ran the 4.8, he's easily now a third day guy. He just lost himself millions of dollars easily. So what that means is if you're on that third day, you're gonna probably be taken from anywhere from the 5th to 7th round. I don't see a GM drafting him unless he's in the 6th or the 7th round, which makes it very easy to cut you. But if he goes undrafted, that will be better suited for him anyway, instead of just going to a team just to see how fast he runs, just to cut him. If he goes undrafted, he could pick the team that he could go to that needs receivers, and they could do all that stuff there. So if they really fall in love with him, they would bring him on. So like a guy like Xavier Weaver last year with Colorado, went undrafted, signed with the Arizona Cardinals, and made the 52-man roster. Not practice squad. He was on the roster. He was active. He was in on the depth chart. So a guy like this, but Xavier Weaver ran a fast 40. But a guy like this who have all of the skills at that slot receiver position, runs great routes, crispy, he's strong at 198, 5'10. That's a strong dude. Now that I really think about it. Um, and he's going to be lining up against linebackers and safeties that's going to be trying to cover him. He's still may able to be effective, but I do think this kills his draft stock from going from second round because he's a second round talent when you see him on film. But with the bad 40, now he then took himself to 6th, 7th round, maybe undrafted, in my opinion. So, all right, y'all, moving on. Before we move on, shout out to Rowan Jack, man. Just gifted, gifted, gifted. Thank you again for your support, Rowan Jack. You are amazing, man. Two Black's Law dictionary terms, fruit of the poisonous tree, and public servant. You see it?
Next episode.
All right. He got you next episode. Thank you again, Rowan Jack. Again, you're the best one of our badge holders. Again, he hit y'all with some new badges in the chat. He gifted y'all some badges in the chat. So again, thank that man. We appreciate you always, Rowan Jack. All right, y'all. Moving on to popular, our next hot topic. I keep saying popular opinion. Human sleeves. Human sleeves. Will human sleeves replace humans? For those who don't know, I spoke about human sleeves. It's been a minute since I spoke about human sleeves. So there's a company, and like I said before, that has human sleeves, where basically they could take our memories and put it into these upgraded bodies who are human sleeves, whether they are taller, better shape, better health, no disease, and put all our memories into this person, and now we're them. So, do you think human sleeves will ever take over or replace us as humans?
I don't know. What type of goofy ass aliens nonsense is this? Like, ain't nobody gonna agree to copy my brain and put it in a human sleeve when y'all can't even fix a damn road properly. Like, slow your roll, Smokey Joe. Like, keep the rolls paved properly, and then maybe we could talk about all this other stuff y'all doing. Let's just be calm right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Hmm.
can't even keep planes in the air, can't keep roads paved, but you want to do this. Like,
Hmm.
stop. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like get out of here. Nobody's asking for this. Like nobody wants this. Just because you go to a school and they're funding your research doesn't mean that the research you're getting funded by somebody means that we actually need it. Like, does this seem like something that we need? Like y'all don't want to cure no diseases, but this is the better step.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm off that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sticking with God created for me, and that's what it is for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing none that y'all humans created. Nah, God gave me all of this, and it's going back to God once I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm. You know what's interesting, right? Because you have this, and then we had the other when it was head transformation, where they they could take off our head, put it onto another body. Obviously, our memories and things like that, they align it with the cerebral cortex and all this other genetical big word terms, and we are the new body that we have. So that's one aspect. The next aspect is human sleeves, where they could take our memories, our thoughts, and put it into this next one. And I just find it like real interesting. All these years, who did y'all accumulate to do all this research? Who did you use? All these years, I remember since we was kids, they used to have missing people on the back of milk cartons that was never found again. Where did y'all get all these subjects to even figure out that this even works successfully? Where? Who was signing up for this? I mean, at the end of the day, when you think about this whole situation, who's really going to sit on a table in one aspect, let you cut off their head, put it onto another body, and you like that's you, bro? Or take their memory thoughts, like the original Street Fighter, and put it into this human sleeves, and now you become this. Who did they test that on? And it was so funny. I was just watching I Am Legend the other day, and that movie is also pivotal because of the virus that spread it. At the very end, he was able to find a cure and reverse this. But he had to use people that was affected or rats, and he was doing this for a long time. So who did these people use? It makes you wonder when people give birth, and most people don't want to keep the placenta. You just give it to the hospital because one, that shit is nasty and gross, and two, I mean, nobody knows what to do with the placenta for the most part on their own. So that's a part of the tissues and the cells that they're going to collect. But what other hardcore or how do they acquire hardcore humans to even do the testing? So it's a scary mindset in all that now that we have sleeves available and now that we have they call head assignment. This is called head assignment, something like that, where they take your head and put it onto another body. I know I'm not signing up for that. I'm gonna continue to take care of myself and move like I'm supposed to move, but that is just the wildest thing. I'm gonna put the video up when I do a short for this segment right here or for this hot topic. I'm gonna put up the video with that so y'all can see what I'm talking about even further, cause it's crazy. And there's a company that's actually selling human sleeves. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Anything you wanted to add to that?
If they when they come up with a cure for HIV, AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea, all these diseases where they're just a thing of the past, you just pop a pill and it's gone. Then maybe we would talk about sleeves and all this stuff. When you can get rid of cancer and a sickle cell disease, dementia, diabetes, then we could talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Then we done elevated. Don't give me this contraption right here, and then you ain't figure out none of this stuff over here. It just leads me to believe that you trying to be like skip steps. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like my
Mm-hmm.
old coach used to say, you can't be out here freestyling. You know what I'm saying? There's a protocol that you got to follow. So if you skipping steps over here, I'm good off of that over there. You know what I'm saying? Because I know damn well you skip steps over there too.
And it's funny that you mention that, because one of the most craziest research that I found is that 1 out of 2 people have herpes. 1 out of 2. So what human sleeves are y'all using? How y'all, like, you get what it's like? It's so much going on, and I feel like they already have some of these cures, but of course, is the have and the have nots, is the known and the unknown. What bro said in the Boondocks, there's known knowns and then known unknowns, and then unknown knowns. True to life and true to word. So it's funny that you say that, because we live in a society where this is real. But y'all want to do human sleeves. Y'all want to do head reassignment. That's the head reassignment. Crazy. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Have you ever heard of the most expensive bottled water? The most expensive water will cost you 60,000 a bottle. There's a company called the Tributo Maglano de Cristolo. It's a rare blend of spring water, mixed that water from Fiji and France. Plus, don't forget the plus.
Oh, they have an additive? Let me hear that. Let me hear that.
Plus,
don't forget the cane on it.
This is the extra cocaine that we're about to throw on this thing. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I don't forget the plus, right? Plus, the Icelandic glacier water.
Oh my God, yo, they reaching for the stars and moons, son.
So this is why it costs 60,000 per bottle. What do you think about this?
Never mind the amount of money and the pollution it costs for you to fly to Fiji, get the water from Fiji, then go to Iceland and get the water from Iceland, then go to France to mix it up and then sell it. You know what I'm saying? Never mind the logistical aspects about that. Like none of that shit makes any kind of sense. Okay, cool. That's right there. Then you're gonna tell me you got Icelandic water molecules mixed with Fiji water molecules, and you mixed it with France water molecules to make this water better. Like, oh, all right, that's what's up. But the people in France don't use the water to wash themselves. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna sell me the water that they don't really use for themselves. Like, get out of my face. And then 60,000. What actor you using to promote this one? This one I want to know. I got to see what actor they paid to promote this one. You know what I'm saying? What top tier actor took the job, took the check to promote this $60,000 water bottle? Like we talking about water at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already got us buying Dasani. What's the other joints? All these other variations of water, right?
Right.
Now y'all like, we got this upper echelon water over here. This is just top tier water. It got extra oxygen in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here, man. Like, what he say? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you call it blue dog shit. You know what I'm saying? Just don't cut my coat. Just leave it the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to cut it up, and now you want to charge me $60,000 for water now? All right.
Insist, infringement. I don't like these terms that you use in my establishment.
Talking about Iceland and France. I don't like these countries you use it with my water. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I like my shits from the Rocky Mountains. You know what I'm saying? If it's cool, if it's good for the Coors beer, it's good for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with the Colorado Mountains. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Appalachian Mountains, the Adirondack Mountains. I don't know nothing about Icelandic or Fiji water. Leave the Fiji water for the Fijians. You know what I'm saying? They probably need the water better than us because we got water over here. Why are we taking water from Fiji? You know what I'm saying? That don't even make no sense. We got all types of water over here. We got 5 lakes full of water. You know what I'm saying? Unless y'all fuck that one up. I don't know. But y'all getting this is just crazy. Where the company at? It's in France or something?
Well, this particular company, they didn't say where. That's why it had all these. So this,
the logistics is crazy. You know what I'm saying? They probably in Calcutta or something.
It gotta be because this is Tributo Mangalina Aquadea de Cristo type of water. Like it's just
That's straight in the head of the corporation is straight in New Delhi. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Straight in Goop Scoopian land.
Yo, I was just about to say that. Like,
No, I'm good off that water. I'm straight. I'm gonna keep I'm gonna say my little water that I be getting myself. You know what I'm saying? The alkaline water. I'm straight with that. You know what I'm saying? From Publix. I'm cool.
Alkaline, y'all. Alkaline. That's the store brand. Great value alkaline. You heard? Don't get no better than that. I'm trying to tell y'all. You know. But yeah, I just thought it was a crazy, crazy blend. Like no matter where we are in life, no matter how good you do, they always got to create another system or something else to make you feel like, yeah, like, like who's buying 60,000 per bottle of water? How much money you have to spend 60,000 per bottle of water like it's $1? What type of money is that? When you
There's no financial advisor that ever advised any millionaire, billionaire that $60,000 for water is a great investment.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna try to finesse somebody to trick you out your position to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The finesse is gonna be top tier. Watch. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna pull no punches. They got millions of dollars to create whatever image they want to create. You know what I'm saying? Too bad they don't got Diddy right now, so they gotta find somebody else to dance and hot tour this water bottle. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna find a new puppet. So whoever that is, they got a crazy bag. They went to one of them islands, they sat down one of the parties and signed one of them contracts. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no way in hell you won't get me to promote $60,000 a bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no way. Like that's like what? Nah, that's crazy.
I could definitely see a rapper, one of the rappers
Oh yeah, they're gonna get one of these YNs or something. They're gonna get something.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Shout out to Roman Jack. He said tariff the water. Yeah, that's a fact, man. 60,000 per bottle is that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. The Final Four is complete. The Final Four is complete. So we got Florida versus Auburn, and we have Houston versus Duke. What do you think about that?
I love when the usual suspects never get to the Final Four. But again, Duke is a top tier school. They always be getting top tier talent. So they always gonna find a way to get to the Final Four. That's one school that's old consistently, you know what I'm saying? 8, 16, 4, you know what I'm saying? In the finals, they always find a way. So but I like all these other underdog teams. Houston, you know what I'm saying? That's a real underdog team. I like they scrappiness and they grittiness and
Mhm.
they play like they from the hood. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
they got that gritty and hunger. I see it in them. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be an interesting battle. You know what I'm saying? That clean cut blue blood image with the Dukes with the ragtag. They always played
but
that
yeah,
same old tired trope all the time. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see.
yeah, yeah. Um, Duke, I ain't gonna lie to you. Duke really looks unbeatable. They really look unbeatable, especially with Cooper Flag playing the way that he's playing. But he's also kind of, hurt. Kind of, he's out there just he's giving it his all pause, but he's playing well. He's making a difference. Uh, Duke is they're going to be a problem. I like Houston. They're like you said. They're uh, you know physical. What I'm saying, they up in your face. I like that. Would that work against Duke? They might have to, find different sets to, bring Cooper Flag away from the basket on defense and limit him, his movements on offense. But Houston is a good team. They have a history of winning, but not a real history of being a blue blood. I don't consider Houston a blue blood. Florida is. I wouldn't consider them a blue blood, but they've won several championships. They won about 2 or 3 championships. So shout out to Florida. But Florida is also a good team. Auburn is good. I'm not surprised Auburn made it this far. I've seen them play. early in the season. I believe they lost to Alabama not too long ago in the conference championship game. And to see them fight, they beat my Michigan in the Sweet 16, but it's all good. But Florida, Auburn, I'm not gonna lie, I got Florida versus Duke for the national championship. That's who I think is going to be at the national championship. But the Final Four is the draw. To get to the Final Four is going to get crazy. The media is going to be a circus. So shout out to those teams. It's going to be a good Final Four. Anything else you want to add to that?
Shout out to them for making it.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. This is pivotal, and this is a moment in their life they'll never forget. I guarantee that. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. And it was funny that you had just mentioned this when we was talking about the water, the cost of Instagram, right? So you have, I took down the top five, people on Instagram as far as followers and what they charge per post. Okay. So coming in at number five, The Rock. The Rock coming in at number five. He charges $2.3 million per Instagram post, and he has 394 million followers. At number four, you have Kylie Jenner. She charges $2.3 million. She has 421 million followers on Instagram. Uh, Instagram. Selena Gomez at number three. She charges 2.5. She has 41 million followers. Uh, at number two, Lionel Messi. He charges $2.6 million per Instagram post. He has 505 million Instagram followers. And coming in at number one, Cristiano Ronaldo at 3.3 million. He charges per post for 651 million Instagram followers. What do you think about that?
That's a good hustle, but who giving up 2.1 million anything for a post?
Companies.
That's the only people that can do it. Ain't no
Hmm.
regular person doing that.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no connection to any of these top five except for The Rock. I love wrestling. I grew up watching The Rock wrestle, so I mess with The Rock. I watch his movies. I watch his TV shows. I don't know what Kylie Jenner does. No disrespect. Selena Gomez, she's a artist. Okay, I've never. Don't ask me to name her music, and it's not a diss because obviously she has 41 million followers on Instagram, so it's not a diss to her. I'm just not connected to what she does. Lionel Messi, I've never seen him play soccer. Same thing with Cristalino Ronaldo. I've never seen them play soccer, but I know they successful soccer players. I've never seen them play. So me personally, if companies are selling or buying, sort of buying, their Instagram posts, what are, like, isn't it the job of the consumer to see these people and be influenced by what they pushing out to the public? And I'm gonna want to buy from, buy what they have. Isn't that the reason why that these companies buy their Instagram posts? I mean, could you tell me what any of these people sell? Are you even tapped into any of these people as well? A legit question.
The only thing probably would be The Rock with his tequila brand or something like that. Other than that, like none of the other people, like I'm not really gonna be tapped into like that. And even if it's a tequila brand that The Rock is tapped into, it's like, bro, like Yeah, you may be tapped into it, but that don't mean you know about tequila. You know what I'm saying? Just because The Rock is promoting tequila, don't mean that the brand he promoting is lit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, you can have these people post these things and promote these products, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's up to the consumer really if they really want to rock with it for real. Like if they really have an attachment to that person that's promoting it. That's really what it comes down to. Like your point of having a an attachment to the rock. So I'm like, I want to see what he tapped into, what he got going on. If I have no connection or no emotional attachment to this particular artist or actor or the person they have promoting it, then I don't care what product you got. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. Mm-hmm.
So if you have a certain particular sponsor and this person that you're using as your sponsor, I mean not sponsor, but like brand ambassador, and it's not somebody I'm really tapped into for real, it's like, nah, that's why Diddy was so good because he was tapped into the culture for real. So it didn't matter what you had him sell, like it was gonna pop. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Liquor, TV shows, clothing, it didn't matter. Like he could, you know what I'm saying? He had the culture. So now they don't have a person that's like tapped into the culture like that, where they could be like, all right, now we're gonna put this product in front of you and you promote this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you mentioned these top tier uh influencers, but it's like, are they really influencers? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because you say that don't mean like what are they really influencing? Like they just say these words and expect the meaning to hold weight. It's like you're not really influencing nobody over it.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because to add on to your point with this, all these followers, that's a lot of money for per post. Like you said, it's a great hustle, it's a great way to do business. Um, but also that entity in itself, Instagram doesn't make money off those deals. So Instagram is also a business as well in itself. So I wonder how that's navigated with the finances as well, because Instagram doesn't have a vested interest to make sure that all your, what does this guy got 421 million fans even get to see all your full product. That's a part of the 2.3 million dollars, is that you have to put a promotional thing on your post to make sure that more of your following base see everything that you have. So,
If I'm giving you 2.5 to 2.6 million dollars, your post is it's going to everybody. You better have the back channel connections to Instagram because it's $2.6 million. What you mean? It's
mhm,
going to every damn follow you got. What you talking about? 2.6 million. I can't. Well, it's gonna go to select. No, no, no. We're going to all the followers all at one time. I know y'all know how to do that, so stop playing. That's what that $2.6 million is for, to streamline that post so everybody in it gets it. Now we're not talking about few post, the post you make is only gonna go to a certain few people and this, that. No, no, no. It's for everybody. If I'm giving you 2.6 million, what you mean?
mhm,
If a company is giving you 2.6 million, they want everybody in that post to see it as soon as you post it,
mhm.
all day, every day, so that money is spent. You better promote that shit right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just super interesting to me, man, to see this, to make that type of money is dope, or for just a post. But again, like you said, you have to be able to do the things to make sure that everybody be able to see it, because Instagram doesn't have the vested interest on how they have their posting system, and people don't know that. So that's very interesting in itself. And like you said, they probably pay for that within the 2.3. Like, all right, we gave you 2.3, knowing that you got to give Instagram 100 racks to make sure it goes to all your followers. So we put that in there. We gave, instead of giving you 2.2, we gave you the 2.3, baby. Stop playing. So just of course they're doing business. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Our next segment is brought to you by Big Bravo Section. Make sure you go to, I'm sorry, Nick, brought to you by Bravo Section. Make sure you go to BigBravoSection.com. Again, BigBravoSection.com. So where you can get and buy dope photography and book a session with one of the best photographers in the world if you're in the Miami area. If you're not, you can still book that session. They'll come out, take care of your session, and it starts at bigbravosection.com. Again, shout out to Bravo Section. You got a petty thought for us, petty law, petty words.
We got words from the Black's Law Dictionary. Unfortunately, Ron Jack, there was no Deus ex machina as a definition. There was no X, there was no machina. So that unfortunately word does not exist in the Black's Law Dictionary. So first word on the Black's Law Dictionary is machination. The act of planning or contriving a scheme for executing some purpose, particularly an evil purpose, an artful design formed with deliberation, machination. Next word on the list is dullis. In civil law, guile, deceitfulness, malicious fraud, a fraudulent address or trick used to deceive someone, a fraud, a fraud, any subtle contrivance by words or acts with a design to circumvent such acts or omniscience as to operate as a deception upon the other party or violate the just confidence reposed by him, whether there be a deceitful intent or not. Bells. Next word is justifiable homicide. The killing of another in self-defense when danger of death or serious bodily injury exists. Such homicides generally connotes only to the use of force which is necessary, or which is reasonably appears to be necessary to resist the other party's misconduct and use of excessive force to the use of excessive force destroys this justification. All right. And last word on the list is maritime jurisdiction. Is a jurisdiction over maritime causes. One possesses the power and jurisdiction of a court of admiralty. All right. So my words of this week were machination, dullis, justifiable homicide, and maritime jurisdiction. And if you have words that you want legal definitions of, you can put it on the chat anytime. I'll look it up for next episode.
Which one of these words feels the most frequent in your life right now?
I'll say maritime jurisdiction. That's what we in every time we go into court. We're not in the court of law of the land. We're in a maritime court. So they deal with us differently when we're under maritime jurisdiction. So with maritime jurisdiction, you're perceived as a product. So you want to remove yourself from that jurisdiction and put yourself back into the law of land, which is common law courts, which is what we call AKA family court. So they hide common law court and family court. So that's where you would go to handle your grievances when maritime jurisdiction or maritime courts is putting cases on you. You go to you would go to common law court because that's where you get court law of equity.
All right, fire, man. Again, y'all send my bro some words. Be serious about your words and you look them up. Have them ready for the next episode. Shout out to Ernesto Hernandez is tapping in. Appreciate you as always, man. He said Bronny. Well, Bronny must be cooking somewhere because I haven't seen the latest game with him as of right now. All right, man. Again, dope, man. Fire on the Black's Law Dictionary. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. I keep the lie live segment.
Keep the lie live.
The lie live. So my keep the lie live for this episode. I really feel like there's someone that needs to hear this. I feel like the higher power is speaking through me to someone today. You are what you do and not what you say you do. Shout out to Kobe Bryant for that particular quote. But those are words that I live by. And this was before I even know that Kobe Bryant even quoted this. You are what you do, not what you say you do. And I think somebody needs to hear that within the chat or within whoever's going to watch this in the rewatch or when people see this in the rewatch. You have people out here that's mismanaging their purpose. And your purpose and what you do a lot of times is not aligned because you do what you you must do to do what you want to do, right? But there's a lot of times when you run into people and they say, "Yeah, I do this and I do that," but that's not what they really do. They do this over here. So you're not what you say you do. You are what you actually do. So it's a very interesting mindset because most people that think like that is in a very delusional state, and it takes them even longer to complete the goals on what they really want to do. All of us has the power to design our own lifestyle, no matter how messed up your situation is right now, no matter how crazy your situation is today. The lifestyle that you want, you can actually sit down, think of all the things that you ever wanted, put a plan together, and live that lifestyle where now that dream is actually a reality. You may not get everything at one time, but you will get everything in due time, in the course over time. And you'll look up and you'll be living in your reality. So I feel like somebody needs to hear that. Somebody needs to realize you're not what you say you do. You are what you actually do. You are like I know people that say I only got, my word and my balls. And I ain't gonna break this, I ain't gonna break that. But if your actions reflect show differently, then you're not of that type of elk. So do understand, put your best foot forward by doing what you're supposed to do and coming up with a plan to end up doing the thing that you want to do. That same thing that you want to do, you would do it for free. And now you don't turn it into a lifestyle where you're thriving. So I feel like somebody needed to hear that. You're not who you say you are what you do. At the end of the day, whatever that you want to be, do it. So that's my keep the lie alive for this episode. Any thoughts about what I said? That you're not what you say you are, but you are what you say you do. I mean, you are not what you say you do. I done messed the quote up. You are what you do, and not what you say you do.
As long as you holding yourself accountable for what you do, then man, you know what you're doing is right because somebody else would look at it and scrutinize it, and with their scrutiny, they'd be like, "Oh no, that's right." So as long as you holding yourself accountable with what you do, so the next person, if they're doing the same thing, would want somebody to hold themselves accountable. So you're gonna do right moving forward with what your goals are. You want to move right in accomplishing those goals. So with the accountability aspect on doing what you're supposed to be doing, that's gonna also put you in the right trajectory to accomplish and to overachieve all your goals and stuff. Because the accountability is always there. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes, but then acting like you didn't make the mistake or acting like the mistake ain't there is not how you're gonna grow. It's being accountable because you're gonna slip, you're gonna fall on that journey, but know that that's part of it as well too, and then just be accountable for the mistakes you make along the way.
Facts, facts. I people just have to understand that words get in the way of action. And when you tie yourself up to not putting the action first and living in delusion, it gives the term you are what you do and not what you say you do. So again, y'all, live in your truth, design the lifestyle that you want because you have the power to change it. Nobody else do. If you tired of drinking the Fiji water mixed with the France, mixed with the ice glacier water from Iceland, then you don't have to. If you're tired of the women that you meet, if you're tired of the job that you have, whatever that you're tired of, and you want to see yourself in a different light, different position, you have the ability to do so. You're not trapped. The only person that's trapping you is your mindset. That's my keep the lie alive for this episode. And again, y'all been amazing, man. This has been another dope fire episode. Again, continue helping us with the growth of the show by telling a friend to tell another friend. We talk about everything here all the time, whether sports, social commentary, we talk about everything here. So again, we appreciate y'all tapping in. Also, I want to thank some of the sponsors of the show: Bravo Section, Button Snaps, OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit us on Instagram. You can hit me at Ashley Lovechild on Instagram, or you can hit my bro on his Instagram at
Bravo section _.
So if you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit us on Instagram. Also, again, y'all, we on the road to 20,000 subscribers. 20,000 subscribers. That's big time for this channel. So again, continue to tell a friend to tell a friend. And we are a little over 1,000 subs right now. So continue to help us with the growth of the show. Tap into the membership portion of the page. We got quite a few of y'all members in there. So again, tell a friend to tell a friend. Different memberships, different access. So make sure y'all tap into the membership portion of the show. Is very beneficial as well. Again, y'all, working on a brand new album, so can't wait for y'all to hear this. It's gonna be fire. But in the mean between time, just type in Ashley Lovechild wherever that you find and listen to your music. I got some fire music, so tap into it. I know my bro got his website he want to show.
Tap into BigBravoSection.com.
Tap in, stop playing. Go get that. Also, I feel like I'm forgetting something. I Yeah, we're on. If this is your first time ever watching the show, we're on every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. So again, y'all know what to do. Tap into the rewatches. We got videos dropping daily, whether it's a video or shorts. We got videos dropping daily. It's over 300 or something rewatchable videos right now on this channel of this show. Stop playing. Tap in, leave them comments, hit the like buttons as well. Also, again, shout out to the presenting sponsor of the show, Button Snaps. Again, button-snaps.com. Go where you have the finest movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's button-snaps.com. Y'all know what time it is. It's love. And we'll see y'all next time this Thursday at 10:30. We out.